Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the record of votes and proceedings of National Assembly sitting of Monday, 23rd December 2024 be amendments. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Honorable members, I want us to consolidate the minister's replies, the 2, 4, 1, and 2, the minister's on the performance audit response. He consolidated his response to the 2 reports together in one. What we will then do is probably expand the time to ask questions or to participate. So instead of instead of 1 hour, we can make it 1.5 or even 2 hours to enable you people to ask as many questions as you want to get clarity on the issue. But the response is such that we have to consolidate them. But Banjul South.
Thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, When you say expand, then it means that it cannot be less because already it is 1 hour for each. If we combine them, it will be 2 hours. What I mean is that when you say expand and then you say expand it to 1 hour or 1.5 hours, that is reducing it. If you say expand, then it will have to be more than 2 hours because already we have been given 1 hour each, and if we combine it, it will still be the 2 hours. So if we are asking for expansion, then we can agree to have 3 hours, then we'll have more time.
We are consolidating it. It should be 1 hour each. We are putting them together. In fact, that gives us more time. And then the Honorable Minister will just make his statement and you people will follow up. I said we can extend it to 1.5 hours or 2 hours because that's the maximum we 2 hours.
We already have the 2 hours. That is what I'm trying to say.
Pardon?
That is our right. The 2 hours is our right because to respond.
No, you.
Please, what I'm saying is,
Honorable, when I take the floor, please take your seat. Immediately I had it well. Nobody insinuated that it's not a right. So, honorable members, what I'm saying is, we consolidate the 2 reports. It should be 2 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour. We will make it 2 hours, and then the honorable minister will deal with them together. And at the end, you will ask your questions or your contributions. You see, honorable member for Woolley, when you put it together, when we put the 2 together, we could have come in 1. It could have been even reflected on the other paper as 1. Yes, it could have been done. So let's not waste our time on this. Members, I think we just consolidate. You have your 2 hours and you ask your questions and your contributions. Clerk, can we proceed?
Minister's reply, Order 100. Minister's reply to the report of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Public Enterprises on the performance audit report of GAMTEL service delivery by National Audit Office by the Honorable Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. 2. The Minister's reply to the report of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Public Enterprises to NAWEC, Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation and GRTS sites by the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs.
Honorable members, after the adoption of the reports of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Public Enterprises on the performance audit report of GAMTEL service delivery by the National Audit Office in the previous session, and the report of the National Assembly Standing Committee on Public Enterprises to NAWEC, Social Security, and the GRTS, the report was submitted to government, in particular the Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs, for consideration and reply, as per Order 100 of the Standing Orders of the National Assembly. Accordingly, the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs is scheduled today for reply to the report. May I now invite the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs to take the podium and make his statement. Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker, members of the August Assembly, I stand on all existing protocols and Ramadan Kareem to the August House. I have before me response prepared by the respective agencies which were the subject of the audits and on the recommendations, starting with GRTS. Recommendation 1, going forward, GRTS should only procure digital equipment to fast-track digitalization process. Management response reads, the Ministry can confirm that GRTS now buys only digital equipment for both radio and TV, and that its TV studios are all producing high-definition pictures, whilst the radio is on satellite. Thus, it's accessible countrywide and beyond. However, it is worth noting that for GRTS to be fully digitized, the country needs to transition from analog to digital broadcasting, which cannot happen without the establishment of the digital terrestrial television transmission platform in the Gambia. Subsidiary of GRTS established through the Companies Act 2013 in 2021 to serve as the public signal distributor for digital broadcasting in the Gambia. Please note that a budget estimate of 11 DTT project. Given the cost involved, it is obvious that it would be difficult for the government to fully fund this project. Therefore, the Ministry, in collaboration with the management and board of directors of DGL, Digital Gambia Limited, the Ministries of Finance, and for possible support in funding the project. It is important to note that the Ministry of Finance, through its PPP, issued the second observation reads, the board and management of GN viability in the digital era. Response, it should be noted that GRTS is working with the Ministries of Foreign Affairs and Finance, and the Office of the President to develop a comprehensive resource mobilization strategy to improve its fiscal year 2024, and was chaired by the Honorable Minister of Information, Media and Broadcasting Services. That concludes the response. Social Security to ensure that employees, the corporation has developed the Project 59, where all those proceedings on retirement, the corporation has also developed a workflow system to ensure that all claims are processed and paid without delay within the shortest possible time. Recommendation 2, Social Security to make periodic assessment of new businesses to make sure that they are registered with them, to ensure that they are registered with the relevant scheme. Response, the Social Security and Housing Finance Corporation has an inspectorate unit that undertakes compliance work in ensuring that employers comply with the provision of the Social Security Act 2015. Compliance follow-ups are done with employers with the registration of their employees. The corporation also works with the Registrar of Companies to make sure that all that pay tax and are registerable are covered by the corporation. Social Security also makes use of the print and social media to get employers through their adverts. Recommendation 2, Social Security to fast-track the implementation of the Social Security Management Information System to ensure timely, accurate, and assessment. 25, we have made significant gains in terms of implementation. The SSMIS went live in 2023 with the following system: Human Resources Management Information System, Electronic Records Management System, Customer Relations Management System, Attendance and Access Control System, Mortgage Management System, and Finance Management System, and only Social Security Management System that went live in July 2024. The delay in the implementation of the SSMS going live is mainly attributable to the data issues which management has taken steps to resolve by employing a data cleansing exercise which is progressively advancing. The other reason for the delay is because the implementation has to be sequential, that is, it has to have the employer phase and employee phase. The employer phase involves the opening the employer portal to the public. We recently completed employer mass sensitization, which was very successful from the feedback received. The employee portal will subsequently be open to the public when the employer portal is fully rolled out by the employers themselves completing the process. GAMTEL. A recommendation on GAMTEL 1. GAMTEL urgently expands its network coverage to meet the growing demand, especially considering that internet packages are its primary revenue sources. The GPON network is gradually phasing out. However, these expansion projects are financed through internally generated funds to purchase cables and accessories due to challenges in accessing the necessary capital investment for major expansion projects. Recommendation 2, GAMTEL must ensure that implementation of an automated fault management system to enhance coordination between the customer service unit and the fault restoration department latest December 2024. GAMTEL has made budgetary provisions for the enterprise resource planning, including an automated fault management system. However, due to financial challenges, these efforts have proved futile. Nonetheless, as a temporary measure, a system has been put in place where technicians from different exchange jurisdictions receive fault reports through a platform to facilitate timely service restoration. GAMTEL must promptly establish its administrative framework latest December 2024. GAMTEL response. GAMTEL has an existing administrative framework with a defined organizational structure, policies, and procedures that guide the day-to-day management of its operations. However, these policies, structures are currently under review to ensure proper alignment with industry standards, enhancing the company's efficiency and responsiveness in services delivery. GAMTEL Recommendation 3. GAMTEL, in collaboration with its line ministry and the Ministry of Finance and Economic Affairs and the SOE Commission, must prioritize the recovery of outstanding debts owed by public institutions. GAMTEL has been rigorously pursuing outstanding debts owed by MDAs. Recently, the commercial team, despite final demand letters as reminders for settlement before launching a disconnection campaign as a last resort. Last recommendation on GAMTEL, establishing monitoring schedules for regional managers to ensure efficient service delivery. Response. Regional stations and exchanges in the provinces are monitored by regional managers and report to this required department for intervention. Routine maintenance work is done monthly by the teams in the region. On NAWEC, first recommendation, proper fencing and leasing of all NAWEC properties and update the committee on the progress made in December 2024. Management response. All NAWEC properties have been fenced except for 5. 3 are ongoing and 2 will be relaunched in 2026. Second recommendation, going forward, NAWEC to ensure that there are functional chlorination plants in all their water treatment plants. All water treatment facilities, with the exception of some few standalones, have chlorination systems installed and are operational. We are expecting 5 chlorination plants procured under the 2024 budget plan for installation. Third recommendation, NAWEC provide basic operational training for technical staff, especially those in the provinces. This will equip them with basic skills and the ability to do basic maintenance when the need arises. Response. A comprehensive training needs assessment was completed for the institution and implemented over the period. Where applicable, there should be a clause for step-down training of knowledge transfer to NAWEC staff in all contract documents that the institution undertakes going forward. Response: more than 2,650 training hours for water and sewage business unit staff from July 2023 to date, most of which came as capacity building under the ongoing water projects. The Ministry of Petroleum and Energy to work with the Ministry of Regional Government and Lands to secure properties, that's land banking for borehole drilling in the future. Response: drawing for some identified sites for land banking for the below borehole sites have been completed. 1. Sankule Kunda, Kaur, Basemane Kunda, Buyam, Sabah, and Kanuma. A last recommendation for NAWEC: commandeering of NAWEC vehicles by government vehicles controller to cease immediately and return all impounded vehicles as this hinders company operation. On this issue, we wrote to the Chief of Staff of the Office of the President on the 29th of November requesting for his office supports in halting the exercise of commandeering of NAWEC vehicles. A formal response was received from the Office of Chief of Staff, and we are pleased to report that no NAWEC vehicle has been subject to commandeering since then. That completes the response. I submit, Speaker and members of the Assembly.
Thank you. Honorable members, pursuant to Order 48.6 of the Standing Orders, I quote, after the statement has been delivered in the Assembly, a period of questions on the statement, which shall last for not more than 1 hour, this time we've increased it to 2 hours, may then ensue. The Speaker shall determine the period taking into consideration the content of the statement, the number of members wishing to ask questions, and the presence of other businesses. What is the problem? What is the gossip about? May I now invite honorable members to ask questions relating to the minister's statement. Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Speaker, my first question is on NAWEC. It says that NAWEC must ensure the implementation of automated fault management system latest before December 2024. And then the minister responded that due to financial challenges, was this reflected in the 2025 budget? Because this was when they realized that in 2024 that it was because of financial restraint. Was it factored in the 2025 budget? That is my first question. And also, it says they are expecting 5 chlorination plants procured on the 2024 budget plan for installation under 2024 budget plan. 2020, we are now in 2025. Was that done under the 2024 budget plan? Can you also confirm that for us? And also, you said now this one is under.
Honorable, you cannot just be asking questions.
We have time. It's 2 minutes each.
No, it's 2 points. You are going to. You will be allowed to ask a maximum.
It's about the report.
Honorable.
So we have to.
Honorable, you will be asked. Honorable, please. I'm not staying on the report. You cannot just stand there and ask as many questions to your level. We cannot. No, listen, please. is you are entitled to a question. Now you have we put the two together, and therefore we will allow you to ask two questions and give others right. Not more than two. If we have the time you want to come back, you can come back. So stop at the two, and we allow others to come. Let the Honorable Minister respond, and others come on board. Honorable, it's not about control. It's not. You alone cannot be asking questions. It's a report. Yes, you. Honorable, please. Honorable, you want to be the one asking 10 questions whilst others listening and the time is gone?
Yes, Speaker.
No, they may be your concern. That's why take your best two and give others the chance. If there is time, you come back. Simple. Honorable Minister, can you respond, please?
Observation, Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think at the beginning, the House should have a consensus to the number of questions to be asked by an individual. Because if you leave it like you invite the honorable member, we have jotted our questions and they are numerous. So it should be put to us to agree either 1 or 2 or 3. Yeah.
Make that determination. And I have told you very frankly that you may be allowed to ask as many questions as you wish, pending we have the time. But we cannot allow one person who comes up to ask 10 questions whilst others are waiting. At the end of the time, when the time is gone, you are not giving others the chance. That's what I am ruling on. Honorable Member, you have your 2 questions. Honorable Minister, can you please respond?
Yes. I think if I recall the questions, I am lost. Can you, the Honorable Member, repeat the questions, because I lost track. The questions were being read out, so I don't know which one are the priority ones.
Please allow the Honorable Minister to respond, please.
Yes, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Minister, please.
Thank you.
Just hold on. Honorable members, I refer you to 45 sub 6. 48 sub 6. You can read it. I think that will allay your fears, Honorable Member, for yeah. So that is the determination for the Speaker to make. Okay, so now, can we now then allow Honorable, we are just wasting more time. Honorable Minister, any problems, Honorable Minister?
Yeah, there was no clarity in the questions for me to be able to answer. Honorable Speaker, I didn't understand which questions to answer because he was reading out several of them. Yes.
Let her come back on the questions. Honorable Member for Banjul South, can you come back again?
My questions, one is on NAWEC. It is on the budget. It says here latest December 2024. I asked whether it, because you said there was lack of resources, so I asked whether it was factored in the 2025 budget. And again on NAWEC, it's also on the budget. It says under the 2024 budget plan for installation. I'm asking whether it was done because we are now in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Member for Banjul South. I can refer back to NAWEC, get their response and revert back to you. Thank you.
All right. Honorable Member for Upper Salon.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on GAMTEL, the Minister was talking about fault management system, and he indicated that the GAMTEL wanted to do an... And I would like to find out with the Minister, is really what GAMTEL actually needs for fault reporting? Because fault report, generally, you don't need an ERP to do that because of it's hugely expensive to that. So does GAMTEL really understand really what they need to be able to capture fault management when people actually have issues and report it to them? Is this really what they want?
Honorable Speaker, GAMTEL is a technical institution, and if they believe an ERP system should be designed to respond to the fault management system, we at the Ministry of Finance have no objection to resist that. But if the honorable member believe that the ERP may not be a solution, we can get to GAMTEL to give a detailed response on how the proposed ERP system can address the fault management system. Yes.
Honorable Speaker, can I observe?
Who is talking?
Lower Salum.
Yes, Lower Salum.
Yeah, I guess if the minister trend is going like this, it's better GAMTEL people and NAWEC should be here and furnishing information because the member for Banjul raised the same issues, then she was referred. The same like the member for Upper Salum. I think the best technical they should be here and inform them.
But that one, honorable, I think without even informing them, they should the relevant agencies should be around. Yeah, they should be around. But even if they are around, remember, they will not take the floor. They will just, the minister will just source information from them.
Yeah, honorable member for Lower Salem said is very important because this is House of Record. We need to get record of all these things. So the honorable minister should definitely bring the head of process the next time he's coming to the National Assembly. Thank you.
I have just cleared that. I said even if without an honorable minister, so far it is relevant to their department, they are the relevant agencies. They should be here. Yes.
Yes, I want to believe that the line ministries should be given the opportunity to come and respond. Since all of these Ps, they are under line ministries, and I think they understand the mode of operation than the finance minister.
around. And he addressed the concerns of the Public Enterprises Committee on NAWEC. Those recommendations you made, he addressed them. But the same thing was also sent to Finance. And Finance should have only dealt with the social security aspect, because that is the one under their purview. GRTS was dealt by the Honorable Minister for Information, if you remember. But the document was sent to Information, it was sent to Petroleum, it was sent to Finance in the same way, because all these things are under the PEC. So it is more of a duplication. So what the Honorable Minister should do now is to concentrate on the ones under his purview, and that is Social Security. Do you follow me? Yes. So GAMTEL, NAWEC, and GRTS were done. And now, Honorable Minister, we will only allow you to concentrate on Social Security, which is under your purview. Honorable members, are we on the same wavelength? Yes. Where is the Honorable Minister? Honorable Minister, so now what we have observed is the same letter was sent to all the three ministries. That's to your ministry, to Petroleum, and the GRTS. So just that you were to limit yourself to the MDS under your purview, which is Social Security. Honorable members, so now your questions will be tailored will be based only on the Social Security aspect of it.
Honorable Speaker.
Yes,
No, I cannot agree more with your explanation here, because if you go to NAWEC response management, the issue of all NAWEC properties have been fenced except for 5 or 3 are ongoing. 2 will be relaunched in 2026. Now, if you go to Kau, where drain for some identified sites for land banking for the below borehole sites are completed. Kau once is not completed. And I was here. Even it's now they start defending.
Yes,
it's not completed.
Yes, thank you very much. You know, I think the letter was not explicit. You know, the document was sent to your report was sent to the various ministries, and you have not to ask the ministries to limit themselves to the MDS under their responsibility. So they may tend to respond to all orders, and that's what has happened. When actually those orders have been responded to by their relevant ministries earlier. That's why I'm saying that the Honorable Minister should limit himself to the Social Security bit of it. So, honorable members, you can now pose your questions. You have got the Social Security these things. You can now ask your questions. We now go to Woolly East. Woolly East, you have no questions on you. Bakau.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, on the management response, the new Social Security Management Information System has the capacity to highlight employers who are not remitting their contributions on time. My question to you will be, what will be the penalty on employers who are not remitting their contributions on time?
Honorable Speaker, I thank the Honorable Member for Bakau. The system is identifying those employers who are not remitting on time. The penalties for employers failing to remit their employers' contribution for employees will be dealt with according to the rules of Social Security and the pension scheme for which they operate.
Honorable Member for Fonyi Kansala.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, about the SSMIS of Social Security, I want to know, they've also identified salient areas in which the system will also address, looking at the customer relationship management and also the unpaid of taxes. Do they have any method in which their system will also link to the institutional system, or they have a standalone system in which they only monitor at their end, not connected to? I want to vividly understand the customer relationship system that they are talking of. What type of customer relationship system are they trying to highlight here? Is it on their own side linking to collection within other institutions, or is for only their sole customers exempting tax collection for Social Security?
Thank you, Honorable Member for Fonyi. The CRMS system of the Social Security is, as far as matters of Social Security transactions are concerned, this system has not interfaced with other systems outside Social Security, like you expect, like to interface with GRA or other agencies of government. It's a standalone system for Social Security at this stage. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Sani Mentoring.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, your response on the GAMTEL that the Minister of
Honorable, we are limiting it to only Social Security.
Oh, Social Security only?
Yes.
Okay, I have GAMTEL. I have questions for GAMTEL.
Yeah, okay. Honorable Member for Talinding Kunya. Honorable, thank you very much. Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
My question is withdrawn.
Honorable Member for Brikama South. It's okay. Honorable Member for Central Badibu.
I have. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, on the Social Security recommendation, which reads as Social Security and finances to ensure that employees pay their monthly contribution on time for timely payment of benefits to employees. Now, in your response, is it not you don't have other way around where they can pay this without other hindrance? Because you said employees who are not remitting their contribution, do you have any other mechanism rather than them remitting it to you? Now, the other question is on recommendation to fast-track the implementation of Social Security Management Information System to ensure the timely, accurate, and assessment of contribution payment of benefits. Now, you have highlighted your challenges here, why you could not be able to fast-track it. But now, how soon are you going to have system in place to make sure that these things are realized? It's not stated in your response, the timing.
Honorable Member for Badibu, the word remittance means method of payment that can be as varied as agreed between the employer and Social Security. That's the meaning. In terms of timely completion of the MI system, yes, this is a management information system and it is being implemented and the challenge is highlighted. Management will do whatever it takes to complete it timely, but at this stage, I am not able to specifically give a timeline as to when it will be completed. For that, I can get back to management to give me the exact timeline. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Banjul Central.
Question withdrawn.
Thank you. Honorable Member for Bundungakunda.
Withdrawn.
Pardon?
Withdrawn.
Withdrawn. Thank you. Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, I just want us to pay attention to where you said the delay in the implementation of the SSMS going live is mainly attributed to data issues, which management has taken steps to resolve by employing a data cleansing exercise. Can you please buttress on this? Because Social Security is a very sensitive institution, employee benefits, and they have a lot of investment under their portfolio. Can you please buttress on what do you mean by this data cleansing exercise, whether it's not going to affect people's record at Social Security? Thank you.
Honorable, which recommendation? Is it the first one, the second one, or the third one? The last one, huh? That's the third one. Okay. Okay. Sir?
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Latrikunda. Yes, that's exactly your fears are what the data cleansing exercises are to allay. Data cleansing exercise means verification, validation, and testing to ensure that the data that will be migrated is sound, accurate, and reflects the realities of the transaction. So that is the purpose of the data cleansing exercise. And it's a bit laborious, that's why it is taking the time that it took. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Member for Latrikunda. Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you. My concern is addressed.
Okay. Thank you. Honorable Member for Lower Salon. Honorable Member for Busumbala.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Minister, recommendation 1, in your response, regarding timely payment of benefit, the corporation has developed the Project 59. Honorable Minister, I want to ask, because this Project 59, whether it is operational as at now, because there are so many queries about employers not having their this thing on time, pensions fees on time.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Busumbala. Busumbala. Yes, Project 59 is the code word for the new project to launch the new MIS system. As has been mentioned, it is going through implementation phase. As such, the full benefits of the system will only be realized upon its completion. So it is not unusual that some of the beneficiaries will be going through challenges. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, we have had the last names. Does anybody have any more questions? Sani Mentoring?
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Under Social Security, the last question, where it is indicated that the employer, the institution have just completed the portal for the public, which recently completed employer mass sensitization, which was a very successful from the feedback received. Honorable Minister, could you elaborate a little bit on the feedback received? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sani Mentoring. The clarification or the identification of this feedback as successful is from the Social Security management. And I'm sure this must have been due to their feedback and interaction with the general public. It is our belief that they are reflecting it as successful based on the positive feedback they've received. Thank you.
Honorable Member for Bikama South. Chairman.
Thank you. Honorable Minister, with the first recommendation, the Social Security to ensure that employers pay their monthly contribution on time for timely payment of benefits for employers. And in the response, they emphasize the inspectorate unit, which has been very functional, but still there is serious absence of compliance, serious non-compliance issue. And we were informed that they were working on to review the Social Security Act where this is going to be fully enforced. What stage are they in terms of the tabling of the Social Security Act for the review in order to incorporate the full enforcement of non-compliance?
Thank you, Honorable Member for Brikama South. The revision of the Social Security Act to incorporate the proposed strengthening of the Inspectorate Unit is ongoing and will be tabled before the National Assembly when it is ready.
Thank you very much, honorable members. Let me, on your behalf, thank the Honorable Minister for Finance and Economic Affairs for ably responding to your questions, and to you all for your participation. Clerk, can we now proceed?
Bills. Order 74, 8 and 75. Third reading of the Gambia Legal Metrology Bill 2025 by the Honorable Minister for Trade, Regional Integration and Employment.
Honorable Minister, just take a while. Honorable members, you recall that the consideration stage of the Gambia Legal Metrology Bill 2024 was concluded on Friday, 20th December 2024. Accordingly, today is appointed for the third reading in accordance with Order 75. I would therefore now invite the Honorable Minister for Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment to move a motion for the third reading of the bill entitled the Gambia Legal Metrology Bill 2025. Honorable Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to move the bill entitled the Gambia Legal Metrology Bill 2025, having gone through the consideration stage with amendments, to be read a third time and passed. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Any seconder, honorable members?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled the Gambia Legal Metrology Bill 2025, having gone through the consideration stage with amendments, be read a third time and passed. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, you can read the short title.
The Gambia Legal Metrology Bill 2025.
Thank you, Clerk. Thank you, Clerk. Honorable members, the bill entitled the Gambia Legal Metrology Bill is deemed to have been passed now. Clerk, can we proceed?
Order 65, first reading of the Local Government Amendment Bill 2024 by Honorable Yaya Sanyang, Member for Latrikunda Sabij.
Honorable members, in accordance with Order 65, only the first reading of the Local Government Amendment Bill 2024 will be done today. Therefore, I will now invite the Honorable Member for Latrikunda Sabiji, the person in charge of the bill, to hand over a copy of the bill to the Clerk of the National Assembly, who will read aloud the short title, whereupon the bill shall be deemed to have been read a first time. Honorable Member.
Local Government Amendment Bill 2024.
Honorable members, the bill has been read a first time. The next stage of the Local Government Amendment Bill 2024 is appointed for Thursday, 6th March 2025, for the person in charge of the bill to move a motion for the second reading in accordance with Order 66-2, which reads, at the conclusion of the proceedings on the first reading or on any subsequent stage of a bill, the next stage may be taken either forthwith or upon a day to be named, providing that the second reading shall be taken no sooner than one working day after the first reading. Thank you very much, honorable members. Clerk, we can proceed.
Order 67, second reading of the Waste Management Bill 2024 by the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, stepping in for the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources.
Honorable members, you will recall that the first reading of the Waste Management Bill 2024 was done on Wednesday, 27 September 2024, and today is appointed for the second reading in accordance with Standing Order 66-2. Therefore, pursuant to Order 67 of the Standing Orders, I now invite the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, stepping in for the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, to move a motion for the second reading of the bill entitled Waste Management Bill 2024. Honorable Minister, please.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. I want to move the motion that the Waste Management Bill 2024 be read for a second time and pass. Are as follows: guidance on avoidance and reduction of waste to the minimum level possible, reuse or reusable components of the waste. 2, for sustainable development through protection and saving of natural resources. 3, for the prevention of negative impacts of waste on the environment, human life and health. 4th, for environmentally acceptable waste disposal methods. And 5th, for the prevention of illegal trade in waste and transboundary movements of hazardous waste and other waste. This bill emphasizes responsive measures that would create the enabling environment to effectively tackle waste management issues through a multi-dimensional approach that would utilize advocacy, sensitization, environmental education, and promotion, as well as enforcement of environmental laws as the pillars for a successful waste management program. Waste management is a growing public health and environmental concern in the Gambia. Waste generation is influenced by population growth, affluence, changes in lifestyle, economic growth, and low level of awareness of the population and waste management issues. Currently, only 20% of waste is properly collected and disposed of at the designated dump sites. If the current trends remains unchanged, the rate of waste collection will dwindle as all the pressure leading to increased waste generations are dynamic and non-static. This bill factors in all the international obligations that the Gambia is bound to, including the multilateral environmental conventions, thus making it a holistic and sustainable law. Therefore, the pace is already set for the realization of sustainable waste management in the Gambia, and the passing of Waste Management Bill 2024 by the National Assembly will be a giant step forward to this realization. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Any seconder, honorable members? Honorable Member for Brikama South.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to second the motion, and I want to seize this opportunity to take part in the debate. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for coming out with this particular bill, which is extremely important, which is related to the guidance and avoidance of waste, which is very, very important, especially the guidance of waste disposal. This is something which is very timely, as you like this alluded to in the objects and the reasons. Only 20% is managed, about 80% is still a major problem. Honorable Minister, the issue of the waste disposal, I think we need a lot to do with that when this bill comes into active life, more especially when you come to solid and liquid waste disposal that are indiscriminately done. I think the ministry will also do everything humanly possible to identify a special waste dumping site where those that are going to be completely usable, to recycle them for other useful things. I think that will be extremely important. But sometimes you look at this indiscriminate waste disposal, it's creating a lot of problem, especially where we have boreholes all over the country and there are dump sites all over them. Sometimes it's very frustrating, especially the issue of liquid waste that can go down into the drain and affect the water table, which is very hazardous as is contained in the objects and reasons. So we really believe that this will help a lot in promoting a quality health in the country. But I want to put this across. Let us not only bring this act and make it a law, and enforcement becomes a problem. I think we have to take the bull by the horn to make sure that waste are disposed at a specific place that is predominantly presided for disposal. And let it be diverse, especially when you come to liquid waste. And these are some of the issues that I want to put across, and I really thank you for coming out with this. On that note, Honorable Speaker, I beg to take my seat.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Brikama South. In accordance with Standing Orders 67(1) of the Standing Orders, I will now open the floor for debate on the general merits and principles of the bill. Any honorable member who may wish to take part may do so now. I have a list of honorable members who want to take the floor. I now invite the honorable member for Latrikunda Sabiyi.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Honorable Minister for Local Government for taking brief for the Honorable Minister for Environment. Honorable Speaker, I am going to be brief. It is wiser to be brief. I think this bill is long overdue. I listened to the details and explanation by the Honorable Minister. Through the bill, we will be able to protect our environment. Through the bill, we will be able to reinforce public health. And through the bill, we will be able to do some resource conservation. And over and above all, we will be able to create jobs for the citizens of this country. Therefore, honorable members, I appeal to each one of you to give this bill our quickest blessing so that we can start implementing all the benefits. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Latrikunda Sabiyi. I now invite the honorable member for Foni Kansala.
All right, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I thank the Honorable Minister, who is heavily represented by the Minister of Local Government and Lands. On this important bill, I think with the object of reasons, it has cleared the focus in which the bill seeks to address. Now, looking at the arithmetic that he has said, about 20% is correctly collected. So, I mean 80% we are all at risk. So, the general notion here is if this bill is up and running, I think it will address, and again, the most important part that is also talking about the reuse of the usable disposal. So I think it's enormous and it's in the right direction, and I definitely concur to make sure we will get a sustainable, protective environment. And also, sometimes when you cross certain areas, that dump sites are laid, especially the backwater dump site. You know, health-wise, it's not better off. And with this invention of this bill, or if this bill is passed, they will be able to relocate. And that end could also be widely used for great settlement, because hazardous environment and also the health aspects is a great concern. And our natural resources also could also be well protected if the bill is in place, and also a designated site could also be put to make sure at least dump site is not, it's not going to be everywhere. You know, could avail that. I definitely concur, and I believe so. If this bill is up and running, will eliminate some of the difficulties that people are facing. And again, the inspectors, where we also said the council, will also be part of the regulation. I think this is enormous. The bill is not only taking on it, but it will be general within the core aspects of governance.
Very responsible to our environment. The objective of the bill is going to address environmental hazards to make sure that we are protected as citizens. And a lot of waste are not managed here. And if you look at the dump sites in this country, there is nothing that manages them. You know, there are so much open loose to children who are very exposed to diseases and their family. So I believe the bill will address security to us in terms of health. And we said a healthy nation is a wealthy nation. So once we are healthy, we can champion development, we can be very proactive in our day-to-day affairs. So the bill, as said by Latrikunda, every member of this house is looking up to this bill so that we can give our blessing to it. And it's going to also bind the local government and the central government to work hand in glove. We have to thank some of the responsible councils who have made efforts to ensure that the dump sites are fenced and well managed. So we say kudos to them, but we still believe there are gaps in certain councils. So this bill is going to bind them together to have a very functional waste management system. And the liquid, the solid parts need to be separated. But when we say dump site, you go, everything is mixed up, jungle up, bungle up, you can't even understand what it is. So it makes it difficult for people to collect it. So it's high time we inform people, we educate them how to manage waste effect in our homes before they are collected away. So we thank you, Honorable Minister, for appearing before us, and be rest assured that the members of this House, we are going to support this bill because it's progressive. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Central Badibu. I now invite the Honorable Member for Bundugakunda.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Equally, Honorable Speaker, I want to also join my colleagues to thank the Honorable Minister for ably representing the Honorable Minister for Environment. So basically, this bill is very important in a sense. When we talk about waste, it's very expensive. But like with this bill, it will be able to encourage collaboration between the government, the council, and the community. Because when we talk about waste, the community also, they have a stake. This is why, in fact, most of this Anti-Littering Act should be enforced. So for that being the case, at the same time, it can also provoke investment in terms of recycling. So in terms of recycling, when we have investors who want to recycle most of this waste, it will create jobs for our people. So I think this is very important and it's timely. The most important thing now, what we need to do when we pass this thing, we ensure that we all work towards one direction to ensure that we have a clean country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Bundugakunda. I now invite the Honorable Member for Sami.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister, stepping in for the Honorable Minister for Environment. Honorable Speaker, the importance of this bill cannot be overemphasized. This bill is Waste Management Bill 2024. Honorable Speaker, managing waste, we all have to put our hands on decks. Even at our homes, we should train our children as to how they should throw dirty things in the compound. Not that they just come and throw things like that. The Honorable Minister has mentioned the importance of this bill when it is passed. Honorable Speaker, when you go to other countries, you look at their environment, you admire it. Why not we also try to do the same thing? That's why we have to change our attitudes. Even we come up with this as a law, if we don't change our attitudes, definitely we'll still face the same problems. So I think when this bill is passed, anybody who is found wanting, throwing dirty things in public places or anywhere which it should not be, should be seriously dealt with. It is all indicated in the bill. And Honorable Speaker, there should be more sensitization on this. People should know, every community should have a special place where they will go and dump these things, waste materials, and after they burn them. Honorable Speaker, I thank you very much for giving me the floor. I think we all have to support this bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sami. I now invite the Honorable Member for Lower Salu.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. Honorable Speaker, my first interventions will be, and it will be a correction to Waste Management Bill 2024. I have gone through records and I have seen a bill on Waste Management 2007. will be repeal and savings, or the laws that are already there are no more valid for being in part of our laws in the Gambia. Because if a new bill is coming in, I think the end of the bill on the objects should tell us whether it's going to be repeal and savings. That can show us that the laws that is already a law on this waste management, 2007. So it's a question that I'm going to impose by the minister to answer that question for me. And again, Honorable Speaker, the clerk, you are disturbing there. Or you want to debate? Come on, debate, come. Honorable Speaker, I think it's important us, the minister responsible for this, or coming for the Minister for Environment, to tell us whether...
The Honorable, somebody was shouting something. You wanted to? Has he agreed to observe, to be observed? Okay, yes?
Yeah, I wanted to tell him that, we are dealing with the object and the reasons. And in object and the reasons, you don't discuss about the repeal clause. The repeal... You say repeal clause.
What is clear is the main purpose of the debate is to be centered on the objects and reasons. So you can continue.
Very well. This is why I
said
said
from that.
object and reasons. There must be a repeal, whether the previous the previous bill is still exists or not. This is why I asked. In 2007, there was a bill for waste management. Yes, this is what I was trying to ask the minister. Honorable Minister, it's an important bill, whether repeal or savings, I don't know. But then the importance of this bill doesn't only lie on building a good laws and leave it like that. We have to act on our laws. We all know anti-littering is not a good habit even in our houses. And the government cannot manage this waste. We have to put all our hands on decks, including local councils. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you see, bringing a good laws, we are very good on drafting laws, but to implement these laws is our problem. And the number one function of councils is to manage waste. Go and see all councils. Go and see the markets. Go and see the corridor of our houses. They are all dirty. What is the role of the council? We can legislate laws, but at the end of the day, we just keep them on dust area. We will never implement it. Honorable Speaker, in fact, importing this, bad continents from Europe to Africa, and Africa being the dumping area, should be stopped. Honorable Speaker, I think putting this legislation as a law is very good, but are we ready to do this implementation of this legislation? No. We, the same people who will come out or protest down there that what they are doing is wrong. And if we make these laws, we give it to the central government, and the central government give it to councils. But then, even the citizens themselves will make a boundary whereby they will stop whatever they are people trying to do. Just seeing this encroachment of roads. It's a law, but today they are using it as a campaign campaign materials. whereby they will disregard the government. And whilst there is a law, today, if you said these second-hand materials, let's stop it, they start campaign. We have to put our politics aside and develop our country. We will make these laws, but at the end of the day, it will be dust down there. But I think, Honorable Speaker, even these old vehicles, there must be a ban of it. These are all scrap, because if you go to the detail on the bill, it's mentioned scrap materials. I think, Honorable Speaker, it's good also to change our attitude with the Gambian. Nobody will build this country for us. We have to build this country for ourselves. And no white or European can come and kill our nation for us. Whatever they are trying to build, they didn't be there, stop there. Go to Europe. All their streets are clean. The dirty ones comes in Africa, especially Gambia. That has to be stopped, Honorable Speaker. Here is not a dumping area. We have to change the way we are. And nobody can build this nation without us. And we, the young ones, have to take the lead. Today is the young ones that put on these second materials and import it to our country. Especially these people of the Badibu people. Honorable Speaker, that has been, before going further, let me stop here and allow my other members to intervene. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Lower Salum. I now invite the Honorable Member for Woodley East.
Yes, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I will also join my colleagues to thank the Minister and thank him for representing the Minister of Environment. Honorable Speaker, we are dealing with a very important bill, which is also meant to make money for the country. If it is actually implemented properly, it will produce a lot of resources for us. But it requires organization. I'm 100% in for this. Because, Honorable Speaker, we are producing. And when we produce, we must also produce waste. And when you produce waste, you must take care of the waste. And modern day now, you don't just simply throw waste. You always keep using the waste for another thing. So this bill, the way I see it, is that it seeks to really take care of waste in such a way that we'll become a modern nation, we'll become a clean nation, but we'll also be a productive nation. Honorable Speaker, we have innovators, many innovators, people who want to recycle waste. They want to produce it in different ways, but they don't have the means. When I was a member of the Environment Committee, we keep on having those people contacting us that they need support and they need recognition, but they don't have recognition. And they are doing things on their own way. But with this bill, I believe we should ensure that there is a provision that such people will receive support so that they will keep doing their job that they know. Honorable Speaker, we know waste need to be, like I said, we have to have a lot of innovation. For example, you have a lot of these mining sites, local mining sites, etc. And sometimes people are making, the companies that are making the roads, they go and dig in certain places and they leave the big hole there without rehabilitation. And some of the people will want to transform those places to dump sites. I believe that we need to put something in place to ensure that all mining sites are rehabilitated properly, and if they are going to be dump sites, they should be recognized as dump sites. The other thing I want to observe is that the inventory. We must create a situation, a provision that ensures that every dump site is invented. It means that it must be recorded. that it is known to be a dump site, because people cannot just be creating dump sites for themselves and then just leaving it like that. Honorable Speaker, this bill will take care of the environment. It's supposed to tackle the environment for us. Using generators, for example, at hospitals, it's not environmentally sound. You have sick people there who have difficulty to breathe, but we have generators emitting fumes in those health centers and those people. That's not something that we require. So we need to look at all that to ensure that even if it is government hospitals, we should not use generators in those places. We must take reasonable care of our environment to ensure that things are done well. Honorable Speaker, I want to say that this bill should be treated very well and very seriously to ensure that we don't come back again to try to mend some other place. But the way I see the bill, it appears it's taking care of many things. And then whichever committee, I know the Environment Committee, we should put all our heads together to ensure that it becomes the best bill that we can look for. On that note, I thank the Minister, I thank you for the time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Woolly East. I now invite the Honorable Member for Banjul South.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my intervention is going to be very short. It says on clause 10, the duty of authorized persons. In principle, when a person is given a duty, he is also empowered to make sure that they exercise that duty well. And one of the authorities authorized are local councils. And I think they have a very high duty on this. So we are appealing to the government to make sure that their convention, whatever they are given to them quarterly is given on time to ensure that they exercise their duty very well. Because waste management, if well managed, like one of my honorable members mentioned, can also bring income. And if they are given what is due to them, they can use these things to also recycle and earn extra income. So that is my only concern. They have been given a high duty under this law, so the government should also support them by giving them their whatever they should be given quarterly, regularly, and on time. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Banjul South. I now invite the Honorable Member for Jara West.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. Honorable Speaker, we are dealing with a very important bill. As the saying says, a healthy environment leads to a good health. Honorable Speaker, waste management have become an issue in this country. And I think if we pass this bill to an act, we will have an agency that will monitor this waste in the country. Honorable Speaker, just as the previous speaker said, my only fear is the implementation. We have good laws, but sometimes implementation is a problem. And our own attitudes also. Because we all travel to some parts in the world. If you go around, you will not see waste scattered all over in their roads. But here, if you go out, sometimes you have your waste in your car. When you just drive a bit, you don't see people, you throw the waste on the highway. So I think those attitudes need to be changed. And the most important part of this bill, the agency will advise the local council, give them guidelines and directives on the management of waste, which is very important. If you go to our households, we don't, I may say some of us, we put waste in one bag or in one container. And then these are things that we need to separate, because there are most of the waste that can be recycled and then can be brought back to us. So we need to separate, even in our households, the waste we have in our houses, to separate it. Sometimes you go to the markets, you find fish sellers in the market, and nearby you have a dumping site. All the waste are put there, accumulated for weeks, and it's not disposed, which is not healthy. So these are things that need to be regulated. I think by coming up with this bill, this will address some of these issues. You go all out, we have good roads now, nice roads, but if you go around, you see all the roads now are now with, garbages, which is not correct at all. We should clear our roads. We should remove all waste on our environment so as to give us a healthy environment. We have a list of waste. Sometimes you see a pharmaceutical waste is thrown at a place where, it's not the right place. There are places that you see chemical all over, which is not healthy for us. So, as members said, we should all support and pass this bill, but also for those who will enforce the implementation of this bill to do the needful for us to have a safety and a clean environment. Honorable Speaker, on that note, I want to submit. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Jara West. And I invite the Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I also wish to join honorable colleagues to thank the Honorable Minister for Lands stepping in for the Honorable Minister of Environment. I think this is a very important bill, looking at the objects and reason of the bill, that it seeks to provide guidance on the avoidance and reduction of waste to the minimum level possible. And I only hope that once this comes into force, it will also look at the administration of municipal and social solid waste management in this country. Honorable Speaker, the bill is very important, but we also need to look at the existing laws that we have in place before coming up with this bill. And that would definitely have to guide us to what you call attitudinal change. We already have National Environment Management Act of 1994, as well as the Waste Management Bill or Act of 2007. Also, there is anti-littering regulations of 2008, and also the Gambia Utilities Regulatory Act 2008, which is also called PIRA, also have a regulatory mandate of how waste management should be done in this country. Honorable Speaker, why are we having this as a law? It's because people fail to adhere to some of the existing laws that we have in this country. And I think that is very important we change. Because first we have what you call sensitization. The public is sensitized as per how we should manage waste before it is developed as a policy or a regulation. And once we have it as a policy, that is showing that government is committed to regulate waste management. But you realize that if the policy doesn't work, then it is translated to become a law, and that is why we have this as a law, a bill before us. So the public and all stakeholders concerned, which is Ministry of Environment, Health, local government and lands, municipalities, and NEA. These are very key stakeholders as far as waste management in this country is concerned. And I hope that once this bill comes into force, it will bring or avail us the opportunity to bring all these stakeholders together to make sure that waste management is properly taken care of in this country. It is high time we address it because it is causing a lot of harm to our environment and also to us as members of the environment. Honorable Speaker, I just want to join honorable members and say I will definitely hope that we take good care of all the clauses when we come into committee of supply or committee stage to make sure that what is needed is done to have a proper law that would take care of waste management in this country once and for all. Thank you very much. I wish to submit.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Sabak Sanjal. I now invite the Honorable Member for Fonyi Berepet.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the floor. And I would like to thank the Honorable Minister who led this bill. Honorable Speaker, with the passing of this bill, it will reduce the risk of contamination of ecosystem and preserve natural resources and mitigate the negative impact of wildlife. Waste management is something very important, and we need to protect our environment, and also protecting environment also will help to control the pollution of our environment. Passing this bill is very important, but we need to change our attitude as Gambians. As the fellow honorable members alluded here, that we have been passing a lot of bills that could have protect our environment, but yet still we having a problem of waste littering everywhere. Honorable Speaker, many a times if we go to the market, as a woman I always go to the market, what I observe there, people always throw these things everywhere. Whatever they have in the market, they pack it at one place, and it normally takes weeks or months before the local government come to collect it. Both the local government and central government and the Gambians themselves need to take care of our environment. Environmental protection can help us. Health-wise, it is very important. But polluting the environment, go to the riverside, people always throw everything inside the river. And whatever we need in the river, it must come back to us also. We feed those kind of things that we litter inside the river again. Gambians need to change. We always love a clean environment. The way you like your house to be clean is the way you should love the country also to be clean, both roadside and the riverside. Sometimes you see people driving. In fact, sometimes you may see a vehicle whom you know that this vehicle belongs to a diplomat person. You see them throwing things outside the vehicle, which is not proper. Passing this bill is important, but the implementation of the bill needs to be considered, Honorable Minister. Gambians need to change their attitude. The problems we have is not the bills. We will pass bills here. If the political will is not there, there's nothing we can move. We cannot move at all. People need to change their attitude and be willing to see the country to be a healthy country. When we went to Rwanda, we were so happy when we see how clean the country is. We admire, but why can't we act like that? This is very important. Passing this bill, Honorable Speaker, is very important. But are we willing to change? Let the Gambians change and see Gambia to be a very beautiful, smiling coast of Africa. Honorable Speaker, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Fonyi Berepet. I now invite the Honorable Member for Opasalu.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I would like to be brief. First, I would like to thank the Honorable Minister for bringing such a bill, which is going to help us in the management of waste from households and from industries as well. I would also like to just also add to the Honourable Minister that there are additional waste. For example, when you go to construction sites, like road constructions, sometimes when they do, you see a lot of waste that's been just thrown all over the place. And I think we need to capture it when we get to the committee of the whole house. We can take a look at that aspect. Because when you are doing construction, there are certain type of waste that you need to take charge of and you need to care for. But Honourable Speaker, I'm particularly happy that the local councils are now included in the management of waste, from licensing, from the board, from licensing, from revoking, from fines, etc., etc. And I think this is really excellent for the local councils across the country to take charge, just to ensure that wherever they might be, they take control of the waste that is in their jurisdiction, which I think is really excellent. Honourable Speaker, if you look at our standing orders also on Section 4 of our standing order, Clause 64, it also tells us that when bills come to the Parliament, the owner of the bill must also tell us the financial component. What is going to be the impact financially of this bill when it's actually enacted into law? So we need to also understand from the Minister what kind of financial implications it's going to have on the central, on the Consolidation Revenue Fund, what impact it may have on the councils themselves. I think this is also important, and also for a long time we've been missing that aspect of bills when they come to the Parliament. And I think we need to go back to ensure that whenever they bring a bill, they tell us actually the impact it can have financially, not only on the central government, but also on the councils. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Upper Salu. I now invite the Honourable Member for Sani Mentoring.
Thank you very much, Honourable Speaker. I think I'll be very brief this time because most members have already spoken on the points that I wanted to talk about. But the most important thing that I will talk about is looking at the environment. This bill is very, very important, as it will deal with the life and livelihood of people with regards to health. Honourable Speaker, as I said, looking at the environment, like when you go to, for example, I'll use Salaji Forest as an example, Sukota Salaji Forest. Looking at the environment, the surrounding, and then where you have other houses around them, around that area. Honourable Speaker, we need to be very vigilant and we need to be so observant as these donkey carts, because in our households, we'll be giving our waste to the donkey carts where they will not have anywhere to throw the waste, but then instead they will wait until at night and then just throw it at anywhere, dump it at anywhere they would like to. On the highway, just at the forest of Salaji, which is very, very important, and we need to be very, very observant to make sure that stops. And then also, as most members have talked about the implementation as well, it is very good. Gambia, we have very important laws. We have very good laws. We have enacted very good laws, but implementation is always our problem. So this bill, as it is dealing, or it will deal when it comes to law, it will deal with the life and livelihood of people. Waste management, I think that's very important, and we need to be very observant to make sure that we implement it accordingly. So as I said, most of my points have been discussed about, so I wouldn't be repeating it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member for Sani Mentoring. I now invite the Honourable Member for Olyundum.
Thank you, Honourable Speaker. Just to recognize and also appreciate the initiative from the Minister for Environment and of course the Minister for Local Government, who is tabling the bill on her behalf. I think it's important for all of us, because we might not say anything new from this point, but as members of Parliament to also, support the initiative, so that the public will understand that the bill that was brought to Parliament has the general blessing of the National Assembly, because the waste management issue in this country has been a problem. I can vividly remember when area councils, let's say become area council, had an agreement, a memorandum with Resident Banjul Challenge, who were managing waste in most of the markets around my constituency. You will see that it has been a problem, a big problem, to an extent that Resident Banjul can no longer control the waste in the markets. Currently, if you go to those markets, you will see waste like nobody's business. So I think because there is no proper law in place, and that is why those things are happening. So now when we have a law that is going to take care of all the things that people are going to do, I think that's an important step for us to recognize. I equally want to join my colleagues to say, we only want to raise concerns. The concern will be the appointment of the inspectors. The inspectors are the ingredients of this very important bill, because their activities will direct how this bill will be implemented. So it means we will tell the minister to ensure that the inspectors who are going to be appointed have high moral integrity for themselves to be able to execute their functions without fear or favor, because that is where we will all look at. If they fail, the bill will fail. But if they work, within their conscience, of course, I think we will be able to achieve something from this law. In essence, we will support it, and I think all of us together will support this bill. The provisions are good. It involves the councils, the responsibility of the council as well. And I think I've seen something that I am very much interested with. Let's say councils will be able to prepare reports as to what they have done with this very important bill. That is very important, because the committees that are going to work on that, they will be reporting to the agency responsible, so that even for us as members of parliament, we'll be able to lay hands on those reports, the public, to know exactly what has been done and what has not been done. Honorable Speaker, with those few remarks, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Old Yundum. Honorable members, I now invite the Honorable Minister for Lands, Regional Government and Religious Affairs, stepping in for the Honorable Minister for Environment, Climate Change and Natural Resources, to respond to the issues raised and wind up the debate. Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Let me take this opportunity once again thank the National Assembly members for contributing positively to enhance this bill, the Waste Management Bill 2024, which is before us. I've listened to all of them, and I think all the issues raised are contained in the bill. The safeguards, the management, the involvement in councils, and indeed the reinforcement and the financial aspect of this bill. Let me start with the concern raised by some of the members, particularly the one from Latrikunda, Kansala, Central Badibu. Most of them talks about our behavior and respond to environmental issues. I think it goes to show how much are people educated about environment. Rather unfortunate in this country, people don't seem to see waste as even as a concern, which is a very sad thing. And that's why for the proper implementation of this act, when enacted, education should be key. Awareness, telling people what to do, the danger of waste management to our environment, to ourselves, to our health, how we can spread diseases in the country, how it can be dangerous to to ourselves as human beings. And I think that is very important for us to see how the agency would be able to develop a program that would also go along with enforcement in terms of educating people to be aware of their national duties and national responsibilities as citizens to the environment that they live in. And then the other one is about the issue of the council's responsibility. As we have it now, the councils are responsible of cleaning the environment because they collect the taxes from the people. Therefore, it's their responsibility. Over and over, government have tried its best to encourage them, but it seems as they cannot do it. And since they cannot do it, we have to come back to the National Assembly to see how we can create an agency that would now work with the councils to see how best we can resolve this problem. And that's what we are doing now. Because The member for Pasal talks about how are we going to finance these agencies, this agency financially. This is going to be an agency of government that certainly would have its budget submitted to the National Assembly through the Ministry of Environment for approval, for appropriation. And once appropriated, then based on that budget, with other sources and funding, because you know that environment is a hot issue all over the world, and to generate revenue towards environment, certainly I have no doubt that they will be able to get that. But we must also assume the responsibility as a country and as a government through the National Assembly to appropriate funds for their existence. But I believe that funding will not be a problem where it talks about environment. We all know about that. So we hope that we have the right people, the member for all you talked about, the men and women of integrity who will be able to enforce some of the provisions. If you look at Section 34, Section 40, Section 43, 44, 47, they covered the entire issues mentioned by the National Assembly members vis-a-vis how we're going to operate this act when it is enacted. From the council's responsibility, from their reporting line, in terms of finances, in terms of what they have done in the reinforcement of this law is all indicated there. And also the appointment of supervisors in Section 44, and the reinforcement is also catered for. And the powers of the councils in Section 47. If you read the bill, you will their powers, their orders, their remedies are also provided in the bill. So, as far as I'm concerned, I think we should be able to, when we are properly organized, get these things done. Well, waste management is not an easy task. Historically, from the First Republic, the then PPP government tried their best to manage this. At the end, they realized the council could not do it. They signed a contract then in the 70s, around 78, roundabout, with SSCC and Sons at the time, gave them the cleaning and the management of cleansing service in Banjul. But it never ended the crisis. And many other efforts were tried by various councils as we go on. But the fact of the matter is, we need an agency that now will work with the council, that now will have the power vested upon them, that now will be able to reinforce them, that now can come back to the National Assembly, ask for more support in terms of implementation of the Act. The oversight functions of the National Assembly will go a long way also in making sure that this agency succeeds. I think the agency cannot succeed alone without the National Assembly being part of the process of making sure that the provisions of this law is fully invoked. And that's why I believe the agency will succeed, because hearing from the debate, I think it seems as everybody is concerned that we want this thing to happen. Let me just tell you, when I was tourism minister, I received threat from tour operators that they were withdrawing from the Gambia because the country is too dirty. And this became a subject in the cabinet, that we felt that it was important to take measures beyond taking the council to do this. They sent us pictures, what they captured everywhere in the country, telling us how dirty our country was. And this is not only about tourists. Many people who visited our country also expressed dismay as to how dirty our country is, and particularly our cities and towns in the Gambia, particularly in upcountry. This is not only to Banjul or Greater Banjul. You go throughout the Gambia, anywhere, you think that you are not in a country managed by council that are responsible of the environment that they should take care of. It's a sad story, but we cannot leave it like that. And I think this is a positive stand from government and National Assembly to work together to see how best we can create an agency that will resolve this problem. If we do that, all of us to collective together, we should be able to resolve this problem. The member for Councillor talks about, Jara Central talks about the issue of separating our waste. That needs education. If you want them to separate their waste, they must know the reason why they are separating the waste. You have solid waste. Waste are different type of waste. And each of these waste need to be put in a particular place. They want to be recycled here, they want to be used for fertilizer and all the rest of it. It needs to be separated. People need to be educated to know this is plastic, it should be here. This is normal food I'm not using, it should be there. It comes down again to education, because some of them, they think waste is just waste, you just have to go and dump it in one place. But once they are educated, I think it will help them and it makes it easier. And the other challenge that we have in the Gambia, let me just say this. Our waste is not enough to attract major investment in recycling. I remembered when we came into 2017, we took up a challenge with an offer with a French company that was to come and invest in the Gambia so that they can use our waste management for recycling. But when they look at the type of waste, the amount of waste we have in the Gambia from here to Basse throughout the country, it was too small for them to use that. It would not be enough for them to operate that type of waste management in our country. And that's the challenge that we have now. And I think that's where we need partnership with our neighbors. Probably if you take the waste from southern Senegal, it will be enough probably to help any company in the Gambia here or even Bissau to be able to recycle, to have enough waste to recycle. Because they use it for energy, to generate power, electricity in waste management. So there are a lot of things you can use waste management for. But we do not have enough for those type of investment, the type of waste that we are generating. And that's another challenge we have to find how we can address that. Regarding the issue of the member for Lower Salem, as far as he talks about repealing bills, I don't think this is going to see the repealing of any act at all. As far as I know, this is the first time we are having a waste management act or bill before the National Assembly. Oh, yes, there may be some other laws here, yes, the Anti-Littering Act and other acts that are trying to control how we manage our waste. They are existing. But I think that would just go to enhance the agency's power to be able to operate using those laws so that they can reinforce some of the provisions of the Act for the better management of our waste. Regarding the issue of the area councils, also need to buckle up. They need to buckle up to assume their responsibility. Whether we like it or not, area councils throughout the Gambia are failing in the process of waste management. Most of them. Most of them. They are failing. They cannot handle it. I am telling you, they are failing. They are failing. They are not managing the waste in this country. They are not. Whether you like it or not, that's the truth. We've seen recent improvement in Banjul. But the question is it sustainable? We have seen recent improvement in Banjul, but is that sustainable? How long and how far those efforts can continue? Whether they have the financial resources to maintain the current efforts that are happening in Banjul. I think, let's be honest, this is nothing to do with politics. It has to do with our national interest. It has to do with our national interest.
This is Parliament.
Honorable Minister, please. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to reiterate that position. Once this is enacted, we will expect the National Assembly to use its oversight function to make sure that the councils and the agency work together to deliver the dividends and the importance of this bill to the Gambian people. And to make sure that the resources that the councils are collecting now, and the money that the National Assembly is going to appropriate for this agency is utilized for the purpose of attaining the ultimate objective of having a clean environment, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think that excellently have finished all the issues that were raised by members of Parliament. I only hope and pray that this bill will be passed into law, and I thank you all.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable members, if you have any concerns about inconsistency between this act and other laws, just I refer you to clause 55 of the bill. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the bill entitled Waste Management Bill 2024 be read a second time. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. Clerk, you can read the short
Waste
title.
Management Bill 2020. Waste Management Bill 2024.
Honorable members, in accordance with Order 68.1 of the Standing Orders, the bill is hereby referred to the Assembly Business Committee for committal to either a committee or committee of the whole Assembly. May I take this opportunity, honorable members, to thank the Honorable Minister for ably representing the Honorable Minister for Environment and for responding effectively to the questions posed by honorable members. Thank you very much. Honorable members, we are at a different Bantaba, not the village Bantaba. So, Honorable Minister, on behalf of both sides, we want to thank you very much. And to all of you honorable members, I thank you very much for your participation during the proceedings of the Assembly. Honorable members, I now put the question. Be resolved that this August Assembly do stand adjourned until Tuesday, 4th March 2025 at 10 a.m. Those in favor, please say aye. Those not in favor, please say no. The ayes have it. This Assembly now stands adjourned until Tuesday, 4th March 2025 at 10 a.m. prompt.